Hey coffee nerds, if you caught me in my last video, I had just gotten off a very early flight from Kunming to Pu'er. And if you're familiar with Pu'er, it's one of the biggest tea regions here in China, but it's also an emerging coffee growing region as well, and that's why I'm here. So I'm visiting some friends. This is Kiliark. They are coffee producers here in Yunnan, and tomorrow we're actually going to be going to the farm. But first, why don't I show you a little bit of what goes on behind these doors. And we are brewing the last of our friends' Hatch's coffee from Honduras. We're going to give it to our friends here, and then we're going to try some of their coffee as well. So we've got some coffee from Yunnan, as well as mostly Yunnan, because here we are in Yunnan. I'm also really impressed that they have goji berries and, of course, chrysanthemum. This is like one of my favorite tea type drinks, and we actually served it in San Coffee Room back in Toronto. But of course, I'm not surprised that it's here. It's a very Chinese tea type drink. We've got a nice assortment of other types of teas here as well. But we're here for coffee, so let's go check out the town of Pu'er. Here we are at Torch Coffee Roasters here in Pu'er. It's one of the most legendary coffee shops and roasteries, and also training facilities. They have some training upstairs where they do roasting, processing, and barista training. But we stopped by here to try some of their local brews. We have some local Yunnan Pu'er coffee, as well as some other regions like Myanmar, it's very close by, also Ethiopia, and even Laos. We've got some Robusta, some pour overs, so really cool facility. They also have a location in Sevilla in Spain, which is really sweet, and we ordered some food and stuff, so I thought I'd show you around one of the biggest specialty coffee shops here in Pu'er. So we are now arriving at the farm. Are we driving through, are these bananas?
They are bananas.
I guess it's banana season as well as coffee season. Wow. After a nice 2 hour, maybe like 2.5 hour drive through the mountains, if you can't tell, I am super ecstatic because check this out. This is just a small portion of the natural coffees that they're gonna make this year. They're also doing some washed coffees. But we're here at the Ouyang farm. As you can see, Ouyang is this kind man behind me. And we've actually got some people just bringing in some more coffees from the field. They were telling me that there must be a lot, like an excess of natural coffees this year, because they wouldn't be necessarily putting it out here on the concrete. So they must have just had so much that they needed to put out in the sun over here in the basketball court. Sometimes it's used for basketball. But yeah, I'm just super happy to be here. It's been a long time since I've wanted to come to Yunnan to see the coffee scene here. The next 2 days, we're gonna be on the farm checking out some of the plants. They are picking right now, it's harvest season, as well as some of the processing. So follow along. It's gonna be a great week. This is my first time doing this, but what we're actually doing is we're raking out the natural processed coffee. So if you're not familiar with natural process, it essentially involves leaving the cherry over the bean for it to dry out, and you know, all the flavors or whatever from the coffee cherry ferment with the coffee bean itself. So it's a type of fermentation. But what we're doing right now is we're actually raking it all because we need to make sure that it doesn't get too moist. So there's a lot of sun here in Yunnan, and we're just laying it out so it all dries. But apparently this year they're actually producing 30% of their coffee is going to be a natural process. So they do a lot of washed, around 35 tons of washed, 15 tons of natural. We just got to make sure that it all stays dry for a certain amount of time, and then they're going to husk all of it. It's going to make a really great coffee. So Oh-young, as you can see over here, he's raking away, and we're just trying to help him. Okay.
这里可以看一下那个。
好，好的。
你可以看这个咖啡长得非常漂亮，是吧？
对。We're all hiking up a little bit further up the mountain, and I just wanted to take this moment, since there's a beautiful building being constructed in the background, to introduce my really good friends here. So this is Moses, and this is Xingroi, also known as Grace. Grace and I met when I used to live back in Kunming like 6 years ago. We did a lot of traveling together. We actually worked on a documentary together. This is Moses, her husband, and then of course Oh-young is the operator and owner of all this space. So Moses, can you explain a little bit of what is actually happening behind us here?
So right now we're having our coffee experience center being built. Of course, we're gonna have some roasters, a nice espresso machine, and just an area to kind of chill out and experience coffee.
Yeah, I think this is a really cool idea, just bringing people in the area, in the actual region where the coffee is being grown, to let them experience it, and also, you know, for the local people to come and learn a little bit more about how they're producing coffee and just about the industry itself. So we're gonna continue walking. We got the dog, he's just in his heyday. And it's a beautiful day to be here.
哎呀，你们既然你还来，我们真的。
From that tree, these little berries, if you remember when I was in Indonesia, they gave me the taramelo, and this is not anywhere near the sweetness of taramelo, but it's very sour. You're supposed to just chew it gradually and just let the juice ruminate in your mouth, I guess. Has a bit of sweetness at the very end, but it's very sour. Really good with the local spring water. So we were drinking like the spring water that comes from the mountains, and then when you chew this very sour fruit together, it just makes the water taste so sweet. I love this farm so much. Like, I've only been here 2 hours and it's just so beautiful.
mahani pugsugwani mapu gule wani mate tini xia bisgule Cachalo, addi cachalo.
I just camped on a coffee farm. This is cool. Now, time to go find some coffee and take some shots of the sunrise.